Welcome back to another episode featuring a conversation with YouTube star Rob Dahm. Brought to you by APiDA Online, this is Offtrack.
Well, in business, I mean, there's a lot of life lessons that you can learn from owning your own business.
Yes.
Like, you learn a lot about yourself, you learn a lot about your own flaws and how to do things better. And one of the things I don't like a lot about just today's society in general, it's a very kind of me-centric. It's like why doesn't this work for me? You know, how could this happen to me? And instead of, it's like, it should be, what did I do wrong? Right. And how do I fix that? And how do I become better at what this is? And how do I learn from people that are doing this better than I am?
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean,
I heard a term, a locus of control. Like, where do you feel like your life's control is at?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that a lot of successful people, it's internal. It's their own fault, and they take their own responsibility for their own life's outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people like to blame the world for their problems instead of saying, you know what, I put myself in that situation. Yeah, I didn't see it coming,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of screwed up. And I mean, I would argue to say that the most successful people are people that are constantly beating themselves up.
Oh yeah.
And they shouldn't be, but they are. That's what
Mm-hmm.
makes them successful.
Right.
By saying, oh, you know, I shouldn't have done that, or, you know, next time I'll do it better. There's a lot of second guessing in success.
Well, the most successful people are usually the ones that A, work the hardest, and B, have screwed up a million times.
Yeah, I hope so.
So you only see the shooting stars, but you don't see the failed attempts at what they've been trying to do. I remember I watched the show Shark Tank.
Oh yeah.
And so many people have said, if I hadn't had this failed business before, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now.
Yep. Yeah,
And it just makes sense. I mean, how do you deal? I know you had a few YouTube videos about dealing with failure on a personal level, but how do you what do you think is the best and worst aspects of just failing?
I mean, let's be honest though. Nobody wants to fail. Even if you say that's a part of succeeding, you still don't want to at all.
Of course not.
It puts you in a dark spot, and that's the hard part. Is that
Unless you're throwing a fight.
Yeah.
Then it pays to fail.
That pays to fail. There's a good one.
Yes.
But my worst failure really put me in a dark spot for a while, and that's just wasting time. And you can't tell somebody to snap out of that. That's not a.
Oh no.
That's not something that you can do. So
right.
So you do have to deal with the fact that it creates a lull. It creates a negative moment in your life, and then that's kind of what you draw off of saying, I'm never going to let my life be like that ever again, and that becomes a very strong motivator, really. I think that I would argue that I wouldn't have started my business without negative motivation.
Mm-hmm.
My counselor at the time, 5-second story is that I'd skipped a couple grades, got accepted to college when I was 13, and
okay, what?
Yeah. So
let's just hold on.
Yeah.
Put on a little bit of a break there.
Okay.
What?
Okay, so I took the ACT when I was in 7th grade and scored very high,
Wow.
up in the 30s, and they felt that I should skip school, so I skipped high school, and so because I had no life, I was just literally I loved learning. That was my thing.
Wow.
I was very antisocial at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and so got accepted into the local community college.
Mm-hmm.
Started taking classes, and my parents pulled me out of it, saying, this is only gonna continue the antisocial element. I have no peers. I don't talk to anybody, and so they took me out of that and put me back into high school. And so I skipped a couple grades and everything. So with that in mind,
So hold on.
Yep.
So you went back to high school and you skipped. How many grades did you skip?
I skipped 2.
So basically, you were now a junior as a freshman.
Yeah. So I never had freshman beatdown.
So you never freshman beatdown aside, but
yeah.
Now you're junior. What happens in prom when I'm 14?
I went to 7 proms.
At the same time?
No, over like the first
one after the other. It was just a marathon prom
just each year. And then I dated younger girls, so then that kept the 7 strong. But so I adjusted very well. I fell in love with people at that point, and especially older people. People who seem to have their shit together. which is a lie. Nobody does. They just are better at hiding.
Well, I think some people do have their shit together in terms of, say, business.
Yeah.
But that's actually a good point. They do just hide it better. If you ever run a business, say any chain store, right?
Yeah.
Like a retail establishment, and you think that, okay, there's a procedure to everything and everything kind of works the way it does. But if you get into the nitty gritty and you go behind the scenes, it's chaos. It is absolutely, things don't work, people don't come in, and
It's an art.
Everything is falling apart constantly, and you have to kind of juggle and keep it together.
Yeah. But it was just to finish that thought.
Right.
So with all that knowledge, my counselor in high school was saying, "What do you want to do with your life?" And I said, "I either want to start a business or go to MIT." And her exact response was, "Get real." And I was like, "What? Whoa, get real. I am being realistic. I either want to go to MIT or start a business." And I was so angry that night. I was still underage. I had my mom help me start my business, so she helped me with the paperwork. I didn't know shit about the paperwork.
Okay, so some idiot guidance counselor said get real, and what did she expect you to do? Okay, all right. You know what? I had aspirations for my life, and what is the?
Yeah, it was so. But you know what? But I have to say, because smart people, I think, and I would not so humbly say, I think I'm an intelligent person. I think that I've been blessed with that. Smart people tend to be lazy as shit, though, because they in their mind they're like, yeah, I know I could do that if I wanted to, but they sit there and just count their chickens before they hatch. And so the teacher doubting me put me into action. I had to put my money where my mouth was.
Was she aware of that you skipped 2 grades?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She was fully aware.
If she was fully aware and then she goes get real, I mean,
she was a horrible guidance counselor.
Yeah, well,
then again, you say, is she? Because here I am. I've started a business right after that, and I don't think she was one of those cool, like, Goodwill Hunting unorthodox people.
No, she just waited till people came into their office and she just asked, why are you here?
Yeah.
Go find a job.
Yeah.
Wow. I know what you're talking about, because when I was in 3rd grade, I skipped a grade as well. Not high school, but when I first, like, I'm not from America. When I came, I was born in Soviet Union, effectively.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I came here when I was 3, and by the time I was 3, I could read and write English and Russian. And when I went into school, I was already reading, pretty well.
Yeah.
So they skipped, I think, it was either kindergarten or first, or like they skipped one of the primary grades. And everything came really easy to me. Like, the concepts I already understood, and there wasn't any difficulty that I had. And my 3rd grade teacher, I remember, her name was Miss Kushenko, and she would say, he's gonna get lazy, and it's gonna be really easy for him to excel in things, and that's gonna basically kill his work ethic.
Yep.
And that's what happened for a long time. Like,
yes.
I never studied. I still don't know what it is to study.
Yeah.
Because every time I would just kind of glance at the book and see what I need to do, and I would kind of store it in my brain, take the test, and I would do well. But I would see the people that kind of didn't get it right away. Yep. They had to digest the information, they had to study the material, and that made it so much, like, they got to apply that information more than I did, and in a more real way than I did.
Yes.
So I finally, like, when I got to college, I didn't want to do anything. I was like, I'm paying to be here, and I'm pretty sure that I'm smarter than the teacher, and I'm doing all this me stuff. Yeah. And it ends up, what ends up happening is, I don't know where I want to be in life. What can I do if I'm intelligent? What can I do with this, and how do I get there? And I had no idea, because I had no work ethic. I had zero sense of urgency.
Yes.
So it was after college, when I didn't do anything for a few years, that's when I started kind of realizing I need to get my shit together. Yeah. And I'm not getting any younger, and I don't want to just stay here and just go fast food with my friends,
Yep.
every day of my life until I die.
Yeah. No,
So-
it becomes fear. Fear becomes a very powerful motivator.
Oh yeah. You have to wake up, like just owning your own business, right? You wake up every single day just scared. Not scared for your life. It's a different kind of fear. It's like just a very overwhelming concern of, these are the things I have to take care of, and I have to be on my shit, or else somebody else is going to take me out, or I'm just going to collapse under my own weight.
All right, that's enough for today, but what did you think? You can leave a comment down below to give us your view, or you can join us next time when we continue the conversation. Be sure to follow Rob on his YouTube channel, especially if you're the type of person that likes to be motivated. And you can check out APiDAonline.com for DIY guides, epic builds, and videos just like this updated daily. If you'd like to support APiDA Online, you can do so by clicking through the Amazon banner on our homepage. It costs you nothing, and it lets us keep making articles and videos like this for you for free. And on that note, always remember, life is just too short to drive boring cars.